Hi, this is David for 10 on Tactics, brought to you by tacticsandtrials.com. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and to hit the like button. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Today we will be reviewing the tactics involving deputies and an individual who was exhibiting erratic behavior in public. In Tracy Alves versus County of Riverside, we will review the circumstances surrounding the radio call for service, the deputy's encounter with the suspect, the legal basis for the court's decision, and the challenges law enforcement officers face when dealing with individuals exhibiting erratic behavior. On the afternoon of July 29, 2019, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department dispatch received several 911 calls from an apartment complex in Temecula, California. The callers reported that an unarmed man wearing pajama pants and no shirt was having a psychotic meltdown and bleeding from a head wound. He was knocking on doors, yelling to himself, and fighting a tree. The man was later identified as the decedent, Kevin Niedzialek. The deputies encountered Niedzialek seated in an alcove without shoes. Niedzialek was bleeding from the head and speaking incoherently. Both deputies requested medical assistance. They believed that Niedzialek was under the influence of a controlled substance or experiencing a mental health crisis. When Niedzialek advanced towards one of the deputies, they used a taser to subdue him and placed him in a prone position with his hands cuffed behind his back. After Niedzialek was handcuffed, he continued bucking, kicking, rolling about, and flailing his legs. Niedzialek told the deputies, "Need help," and "Get me up," but Deputy Gomez did not hear him. Deputy Keeney removed his right knee from Niedzialek's back. When Niedzialek rolled to his left side, Deputy Keeney once again placed his right knee on the left side of Niedzialek's back near his shoulder blade. Deputy Gomez placed her right hand near the middle of Niedzialek's back between his shoulder blades. Approximately 45 seconds after Niedzialek's handcuffing, his movement stopped. Niedzialek began to make grunting or moaning noises. Deputy Keeney lifted his knee from Niedzialek's back, but Deputy Gomez kept her right hand on Niedzialek's back. Deputy Gomez then made a second call for paramedics. Deputy Keeney removed his knee from Niedzialek's back, but when Niedzialek rolled to his side, Keeney placed his knee back on Niedzialek's back near the shoulder blade. Approximately 45 seconds after handcuffing, Niedzialek's movement ceased, and he began making grunting or moaning noises. Deputy Keeney lifted his knee, but Deputy Gomez kept her hand on Niedzialek's back. 2.5 minutes later, Deputy Gomez asked for Niedzialek's name, receiving no response. After another minute and 20 seconds, the deputies noticed Niedzialek might not be breathing. They rolled him onto his back, and Deputy Gomez checked for a pulse, initially finding none, but then detecting a faint pulse. Neither deputy performed CPR before paramedics arrived. Paramedics arrived 2 minutes later, found Niedzialek not breathing, and instructed the deputies to begin CPR. Deputies performed CPR until Niedzialek was transported to the hospital, where he died the following day. Tracy Alves, as Niedzialek's successor in interest, filed a lawsuit against the County of Riverside, Sheriff Coroner Chad Bianco, and deputies Keeney and Gomez under 42 U.S.C. per of 1983, alleging excessive force and deliberate indifference to Niedzialek's medical needs under the 4th and 14th Amendments, along with state law claims for battery and negligence. The district court granted summary judgment in favor of the defendants on the deliberate indifference and Bain Act claims. The remaining claims for excessive force, battery, and negligence proceeded to trial. At Alves's request, claims against deputies Keeney and Gomez were dismissed before trial. The jury returned a mixed verdict. Excessive force and battery claims. The jury found that deputies Keeney and Gomez did not use excessive or unreasonable force under the 4th Amendment or commit battery under state law. Negligence claim. The jury found that the deputies were negligent under California law for failing to move Niedzialek into a recovery position, monitor his condition, or perform CPR. The jury apportioned 20% of the fault to the deputies and 80% to Niedzialek, awarding $7.5 million in damages, which was reduced to $1.5 million based on the fault allocation. The defendants moved for judgment as a matter of law, arguing that the jury's findings were inconsistent. The district court denied the motion, and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed the decision, holding that California's negligence standard is broader than the 4th Amendment's reasonableness standard, allowing for the jury's verdicts to be legally consistent. This case underscores the complexities law enforcement officers face when dealing with individuals exhibiting erratic or psychotic behavior. Officers must make rapid decisions to ensure safety while also considering the individual's medical and psychological needs. The use of prone restraint positions, especially after handcuffing, has been scrutinized and many plaintiffs' attorneys have argued that this was the substantial factor resulting in the suspect's death, even though there is limited and inconclusive medical research that supports that contention. Proper training and adherence to protocols that prioritize moving individuals into a recovery position has been taught for years. However, there is a lot of disinformation being presented in these types of use of force trials, and in many instances misleads the jury. The Alves versus County of Riverside case highlights the legal distinctions between excessive force under the Fourth Amendment and negligence under state law. It emphasizes the importance of appropriate post-restraint care and the need for law enforcement agencies to implement training and policies that address the medical needs of individuals in custody. Thanks for joining me. I'm David Demerjian with 10 on Tactics. For more updates on use of force law and civil rights litigation, visit tacticsandtrials.com.